Good evening and welcome to the Job Search Solution, the radio program where we talk about looking for a job, changing jobs, or changing careers. And as always, we begin with a prayer. Dear God, grant us thy peace and thy mercy, thy will be done. And in just a few minutes, Rich Levinsky is going to be with us as always, talking about um, consultants in the workplace. He's got a great topic this evening, as he always does. And we're really looking forward to that. We've been asking everybody to spend 10 seconds in the beginning of this program of gratitude. So go. Think of three things today that you are grateful for. You really can't be unhappy when you're grateful. Just offering up a spirit of gratitude and being grateful. I try to do it 3 times a day. It sure has a positive effect on you. One of my sons and I were talking this morning about Pascal's wager. Pascal was a philosopher, and his wager is a, uh, a rational bet on the existence of God. And it's a bet on the existence of God more so than the existence of no God. It's a bet on the potential of infinite gain of eternal life outweighing the finite loss of earthly pleasures. It's presented as a thought experiment for those who cannot be convinced of God's existence through reason alone, proposing that living as if God exists is the most advantageous choice, regardless of the outcome, since the stakes are either infinite gain versus infinite loss, or finite gain versus infinite loss. I find this very useful in the job search. You can not believe there's a God. You don't have to get him or your relationship with God involved in your job search, but it's a whole lot easier and a whole lot better in the job search to find that relationship. I found over the years that people who build a relationship with God in their job search are a lot more successful and have a lot easier time finding a job if they build that relationship with God by prayer throughout the day, by prayer and communicating with God and having a spiritual life, buoyed by prayer, books, philosophical studies, and at least a half hour a day of reflection, spiritual reflection about your attitude, how it's going regarding the job search, how it's going with people, realizing that the relationship you have with the people that you interview with is a spiritual one, and that they are put there by God's grace, and that your ability to find a job, your abilities to be a professional, your abilities to function as an individual are gifts from God. And to have, like we say in the beginning of this program, every day, every evening, be grateful for those spiritual gifts, and that being and carrying on that relationship with God makes it a whole lot easier. And then I've interviewed more than 100,000 people since I've been doing this since 1973. And I absolutely guarantee you the people that have built that relationship with God for whatever reason, even if it's Pascal's wager, find that they are a lot better off. And it's a lot easier for them to find a job. And they accept the rejection and the refusal and the turndowns, as well as the acceptance of the positive things that happen. They'll do a lot better when they realize that they are gifts from God, when they realize that the professional attitude they have towards their job are gifts from God, that they are the instruments of those gifts, and that they are just an instrument of God's love and an instrument of God's gifts. And when you see it that way, it becomes a whole lot easier, and it's much less difficult to find a job and to have those people in your life that enter your life in the job search, even if they don't do what you want them to do, even if they turn you down, even if they don't hire you. They become part of the miracle of the evolution of finding a job. And when you start seeing it that way, this whole thing becomes a whole lot easier and a whole lot more accepting. And I'm reminded of Jim Rohn's prayer, don't let me become better. Don't let me become better. Don't pray that life gets easier. Pray that I become better. In each day, each step you take. So pray throughout the whole thing. Pray for acceptance. Pray that you become better. All right. This is Tony Bashir with the Job Search Solution. Stay tuned.